How far would you go when the person you trust most becomes your only lifeline? A sunlit suburban street. Samantha Hayes stands at the curb, gripping her phone, eyes scanning the empty driveway. A car engine hums faintly, but nobody is there yet. 3 days ago, a fight tore through her apartment, words sharper than knives. Logan Mitchell's apology came too late, but she needed to believe him. Outside, the mailbox is slightly ajar, revealing an envelope she didn't expect. Her hands tremble as she pulls out a photo of herself, taken inside her apartment, time-stamped last night. Someone was watching me, and it wasn't Logan, she whispers, heart hammering. Who could have entered her home unnoticed? Could her trust have made her blind to danger? Detective Aaron Fields reviews the evidence. Footprints by the window, a smudge on the kitchen counter, and a missing key to the apartment's back door. Maya Reynolds calls, voice quivering. She saw a shadow slip past Samantha's balcony that same evening. Samantha remembers the argument with Logan, the pleading in his eyes, the raw honesty she wanted to believe. Yet now, every memory twists, every word feels like a trap. Why did Logan leave that envelope behind? Was it a warning or a setup? Samantha clutches her jacket tighter as the camera pans past the quiet street. The envelope slips slightly from her hand. Inside, a single, unsigned note. You trusted the wrong person. Her phone buzzes. An unknown number. The caller ID shows 001. She hesitates, knowing this call could change everything. What would you do if the person protecting you might be the one putting you in danger? Samantha Hayes sits at the edge of her couch, envelope open, hands shaking. The photo inside shows her in her own living room, yet she doesn't recognize who took it. Detective Aaron Fields crouches over the apartment floor, examining tiny scuff marks by the windowsill. Officer Tyler Grant photographs the slightly bent curtain rod. Every mundane detail feels sinister. Samantha recalls Logan's soothing voice from 3 days ago. I'll never let anything happen to you. But the envelope says otherwise, and doubt creeps like ice down her spine. Could Logan have lied about where he was the night before? Who else could have entered unnoticed? Maya Reynolds bursts into the apartment, eyes wide. Samantha, I saw him, not Logan. A man in a gray hoodie, leaving through the side gate. Samantha's pulse quickens. Her trust in Logan begins to falter as every memory is replayed under suspicion. Detective Fields frowns at the photos. In each one, there's a subtle reflection of someone in a doorway. A hand, a shadow. The photographer remains unseen. Samantha feels trapped in a loop of fear and betrayal. Every time she looks at Logan, she searches for a hint, a flicker of guilt, a crack in his calm facade. If Logan isn't the one behind this, then who, and why did they pick her? She stares at the envelope's last line. Trust is earned, not assumed. Her eyes drift to the window, imagining that shadow moving again. A knock on the door, slow, deliberate. Samantha freezes. Detective Fields whispers into the phone. Don't open it yet. She hesitates, heart racing. Someone outside is waiting, and they know she's alone. What happens when every person you thought was harmless starts to feel like a threat? Samantha Hayes stands frozen in her sunlit kitchen, the envelope discarded on the counter. A shadow passes across the window, quick, deliberate, leaving her questioning her own eyes. Detective Aaron Fields kneels over the hallway carpet, examining faint footprints. Officer Tyler Grant holds up a torn corner of a receipt, time-stamped the day before. The details are small, yet each hints at someone meticulously watching her life. Samantha grips the edge of the counter, realizing Logan's reassurance 3 days ago. Nothing will happen to you. Now feels hollow, like a thread stretched too far. Anxiety coils in her chest as she wonders who's orchestrating this from the shadows. Could the intruder have been someone in plain sight all along? Is Logan hiding more than he admits? Torn receipt. Main suspect. Unknown observer. Maya Reynolds calls frantically. I found a discarded backpack near the park. It had Samantha's wallet inside. Someone's trying to confuse us. Detective Fields studies the receipt and bag. Each clue leads to more questions than answers. A delivery slip from a nearby cafe, a single hair, a coffee cup placed oddly. Everything feels intentional. Samantha's mind races. Every interaction, every moment with Logan is now filtered through doubt. The people she trusted, the street she walked every day, even the sunlight now carries an edge of danger. If the person who left these clues is so close, why remain invisible? And can Samantha even trust anyone now? Her phone buzzes with a text. Not everything is what it seems. No sender. Just that line. Her chest tightens as the words sink. Someone is always watching, always waiting. Detective Fields looks at Samantha with a grim expression. There's something you haven't seen yet. Something in plain sight. Samantha steps back, heartbeat spiking. What could possibly have been overlooked? And how dangerous is it? What if the clue to your safety was hidden in the last place you'd ever expect? Samantha Hayes stands in her sunlit living room, eyes fixed on the torn receipt lying on the coffee table. A single coffee stain curves across the page, almost forming a symbol she can't place. Detective Aaron Fields crouches by the window, pointing out subtle scratches on the sill. Officer Tyler Grant notices smudges on the doorframe. Each tiny imperfection whispers that someone had been there, meticulously, deliberately. Samantha's chest tightens as realization dawns. Every gesture, every word she trusted, every familiar routine, may have been observed and manipulated from the start. Her sense of security shatters in sunlight. Could the intruder have known her habits better than she does? And if so, why? Coffee stain. Main suspect. Unknown observer. Maya Reynolds returns with something unexpected. A keychain she swears belongs to Samantha, found 3 blocks away. It was lying on the sidewalk, like someone wanted us to see it, she says, voice trembling. Detective Fields studies it closely. The keychain has a scratch, subtle, almost meaningless, but it perfectly matches a dent in Samantha's apartment door. Samantha feels the walls closing in. Logan's apologies, his reassurances, every moment of normalcy she believed in, now seem like a carefully constructed illusion. Fear mixes with betrayal. Every breath feels monitored, every glance a potential threat. If someone has been this careful all along, what's the endgame? And can Samantha even outsmart a person who knows her routine better than she does? Her phone vibrates again. Another unknown number, another cryptic message. You're closer than you think, but still blind. Samantha's hands shake. Her heartbeat pounds as she realizes the intruder isn't just outside. They're intertwined with her life, observing her daily. Detective Fields leans in, voice low. There's one place we haven't looked yet, and it might explain everything. Samantha stares, terror and curiosity battling within her. What could possibly be hidden in plain sight, and will it reveal salvation or danger? What would you do if the person closest to you suddenly became the key to your own unraveling? Samantha Hayes sits at the kitchen table, the keychain and torn receipt laid out before her. Sunlight streams through the blinds, casting stripes across her hands, trembling over the evidence. Detective Aaron Fields traces the scratches on the doorframe against the keychain. Each match confirms one chilling truth. The intruder wasn't random. They had inside knowledge. Officer Tyler Grant flips through neighborhood security footage, pausing on a fleeting figure that mirrors someone Samantha sees every day. Samantha's chest tightens as she recognizes the figure. A neighbor she waved to last week. Someone she never suspected. Her stomach churns with disbelief and fear. All this time watching me? She whispers. How deep does this deception go? Could someone she smiles at every day really be orchestrating her fear? Hidden connection, neighbor, new lead, security footage. But one detail stood out. Maya Reynolds finds a notebook partially hidden in Samantha's mail stack. Inside, sketches of her apartment, notes about daily routines, even drawings of Samantha herself, dated weeks before the incidents began. Detective Fields frowns. This isn't random. Someone planned this meticulously. Samantha's trust in the world fractures. Every glance at a friendly face, every sound in her apartment, now pulses with the weight of suspicion. She wonders if she'll ever feel safe again. If this neighbor knew her every move, What else have they been manipulating? And why target her specifically? Samantha notices a small envelope tucked behind the sketches, addressed to her and signed. Inside, a single line scrawled in careful handwriting. The truth isn't always what it seems. Detective Fields looks at Samantha with a steely gaze. We need to figure out who else is involved before it's too late. Samantha's heart pounds. Someone close to her life has been lying, and every step forward now feels like walking a tightrope. What if the person you trusted to protect you was the one controlling every part of your life? Samantha Hayes stands in the living room, sunlight spilling across the floor, staring at the envelope she just pulled from behind the sketches. Her hands tremble, and her mind races as Detective Aaron Fields kneels beside the scattered notes. Officer Tyler Grant points to a coffee cup on the counter. Fingerprints smudged, not Samantha's, not Logan's. The evidence suggests someone had been in her apartment multiple times, all unnoticed. Each clue compounds the impossibility. Someone knew her routines down to the smallest detail. Samantha's breath catches. Every apology from Logan, every friendly smile from neighbors, now feels like manipulation. The people she relied on could be pieces in someone else's plan. Everything I trusted could have been a lie, she whispers. If someone has this much control over her life, can she ever escape their reach? And who else might be involved that she hasn't suspected? Fingerprints. Repeated visits. Maya Reynolds bursts in, holding her phone. Samantha. Security footage from the cafe shows Logan meeting someone. Someone we don't know. Detective Fields freezes, studying the screen. The figure walks casually behind Logan, exchanging something small, almost invisible. Samantha feels the world tilt beneath her. Every interaction, every familiar face, is now clouded by suspicion. Her mind spins with questions she can't answer. Why her? Why now? Who's orchestrating this? If Logan isn't the mastermind, then who is? And is the stranger someone she has already seen without realizing it? A notification buzzes on Samantha's phone. Stop looking too closely, or you'll regret it. Her hands freeze. The room feels smaller. Every shadow, every sound, suddenly carries the weight of imminent danger. Detective Fields narrows his eyes. There's a connection here we're missing. Something hidden in plain sight. Samantha swallows hard. She knows the next discovery could change everything, and she isn't sure she's ready. What happens when the truth you feared finally steps into the light? Samantha Hayes sits in the courtroom, sunlight filtering through the tall windows. Logan Mitchell is across the room, tense but silent, while Detective Aaron Fields stands ready to present the final evidence. Maya Reynolds grips Samantha's hand, eyes glistening. Officer Tyler Grant passes folders to the prosecutor. Each photo, each note, each fingerprint telling the story of meticulous observation, betrayal, and manipulation. The room holds its breath. Samantha feels a strange mix of fear and relief. For weeks, her trust had been shattered. For weeks, she had wondered who to believe. Now the truth was finally on record. This ends today, she whispers to herself. Could Logan really be innocent? Or had someone close orchestrated everything to look like him? Detective Fields presents the security footage, the sketches, and the unsigned notes. Every clue points to the neighbor, someone Samantha had smiled at daily, someone who had exploited her trust. Logan's alibi holds, and the true orchestrator's identity becomes undeniable. Samantha exhales slowly. The fear that had shadowed every day begins to lift. She finally sees justice in motion. Not revenge, but truth, verified and undeniable. Who will face the consequences? And how will Samantha reclaim her life after this ordeal? The judge calls the neighbor to stand. Evidence is laid bare, the courtroom silent with anticipation. Samantha watches, heartbeat steadying, as the person who had haunted her life is finally confronted. The verdict is read, guilty. Relief washes over Samantha. Logan offers a cautious, sincere smile. Detective Fields nods approvingly. Justice has been served, and Samantha can finally begin to rebuild her trust. Samantha steps outside the courthouse, sunlight bright on her face, and whispers to herself, "I survived. I will never forget, but I can move forward." Subscribe to The Veil of Secret for more gripping true crime stories.